Hey guys, welcome back to Up the Holler. We're getting ready to go on a gravely run down the road here. There's run across this old lady. She's got a few gravelies sitting around, and she's wanting to get rid of some of them. So we're gonna go down and get one of the old riders off over, and we'll take you guys along with us. Check it out and see what happens. Well, there it is. Gravely 432. Got the deck we need for Jake's gravely. Try to get this deck off and assess the rest of the tractor.
Where are you going to put it?
Well, there's the deck. It looks pretty decent. I flipped it up, looked at the blades. They're pretty good shape. Right here's about the worst place on it. Right here on the front. Yeah, well, we'll cut that out and patch it up. You can see it's been patched here on the corner one time before. But other than that, I mean, it's relatively good shape. So I'm going to run to the dump. I got to haul some stuff off. When we get back, we'll shoot some grease in it and try to get it on the 424. And well, we might try it out. I know Jake, he didn't want me to try it out, but I can't stand it. I got to put it on there and try it, see if it's going to work. Okay, just got back from the dump. Now we'll hit these spindles with a little bit of grease. Try to freshen them up a little bit. One in the middle is going to be kind of hard to get. Oh, I see. You got to, if you rotate the blades a little bit, that drive shaft will line up with it. Might be able to get it there. Maybe. Maybe not. It's where you need one of them, oh, I think I got it. 90-degree grease couplers. There it is. And we can give these U-joints, can we do them? I don't see a grease plug on them. We can grease a slip yoke. That should be about it. Oh, it's even got, okay, your guide wheels here, it's got a couple little grease plugs, or one each rather. Give them a couple pumps. Okay, you guys ready to see what's behind door number one? Let's see how good or bad a shape this gearbox is going to be. Hopefully, it's going to be all right. I know the other one on my 12G, it's packed full of grease, which, you know, is pretty standard thing when the seals start leaking on them. It's packing full of grease. But really need to put the right kind of grease in them when you're going to do it. And you should use cornhead grease. It's goes in, you know, looks like regular grease, but as it warms up, okay, yes, we have grease. So that tells me that the seals leak on this, as if you couldn't tell by all the oil around on everything. But well, looking at everything, I mean, the teeth on the gears look pretty good. From what I can tell of them, nothing looks abnormal. Nothing looks chipped. And honestly, I think this is cornhead grease. I could be wrong, but it looks like it. It's kind of, well, the kind I've got in there, it's John Deere brand. It's actually kind of a black looking color. But anyhow, what it does when you put it in here, it's like this form here. And as this runs and this starts to warm up, this kind of turns into almost like a gear oil and lubricates. But then as it cools back down, it goes back to like grease. And it's just a way to get by on something like this. You know, like I said, if you got seals leaking, if you put regular gear oil in this, as you run it, it's just going to leak out. This helps it last a little longer. So, well, we'll go with that for now. I believe it's got plenty in it to do what we want to do. We want to get it on the tractor and just test it. We want to see if this thing's going to work, hold together, or fly apart, or what it's going to do. And we'll come back later. I'll have to make a gasket, but like I said, with the grease in it, I'm not a whole lot worried about the gasket. So we'll just stick him back together and go with it. I got to take care of another little issue on this tractor. I need to put a fuel shutoff on it because it's got a leak somewhere, and I haven't determined exactly where it's at because I haven't really tried to look for it, because this tractor doesn't move a whole lot. Hence, I mean, well, you know, we don't have a deck on it, haven't had a deck on it or anything like that, so it just kind of sits here and Jake gets it out and plays around, rides it around, and all that. But I filled it up a few weeks ago, and we took them out, you know, run them, filled it completely up, parked it, and come back, I don't know, a week later or so, and got jumped on it, crank, wouldn't start. I pretty well just about run the battery dead. And finally I thought, well, let me see how much gas in. I opened the lid up, didn't have a drop of gas in it. I think this thing holds like 3.5 gallons, something like that, maybe 4. So I leaked every bit of the gas out of it. I don't know if it's got a leak in the line, the bottom of the tank. Yeah, it could have leaked, you know, out of the carburetor. If the float's not, you know, it could have just all leaked out that way. I'm not sure. But that was the ethanol free fuel, the high dollar stuff, because that's what I've started buying now since they put a gas station in locally where I can get this now. But we're going to put just enough to where we can get it out here and go get the deck on it. So that's probably something else we'll get into later, so trying to determine where the fuel leak's at on this thing. And another thing I'll say too, I know there's a lot of discussion on fuel cans. And yes, I've had the newer modern ones with the safety valves on them and all that. That's garbage. You can't pour anything out of them. They leak. You got to fight with them to get them. You know, they're hard to hold because they don't put the handles on them correctly. Just my opinion. I really like this can. It's a Just Right can. Comes with this funnel. You can take this funnel on and off if you need to. I typically just leave them on. But you can get these at, I think, Tractor Supply. I know Royal King has them. That's where I bought my 2 at, was at Royal King. You know, metal can, self-closing lid on them. Simple, old school design that works and works good. I think they're, well, when I bought these, I think I gave $40 a piece for them. They may have went up a little bit since then. I've had them a few years now, but
just my little tidbit on it that this is one of my favorite gas cans right here. See, on the 12G here, I've got a fuel shut off on it. But I was told that this particular engine, or well, the carb, I guess, they were notorious for if you didn't shut the fuel off, it could fill the block up, with gas, and you really don't want that. It's not good. So could have been the same thing with that. I'll check the oil, make sure ain't no gas in it on the 424, but let's move all this stuff out of the way so we can get it out. Okay, I'm not real sure the best way of putting one of these decks on. I have before on the 12G, I have actually drove over top of the deck, but you have to be careful because when you do that, the biggest thing is your front axle can catch on the gearbox. So you gotta watch what you're doing when you do that. But that actually may be the simplest way to do it. Other than that, I have put it in from sliding it in from the side, but the 12G is a longer frame tractor. This is shorter, so I don't know how hard it's going to be to do that. So we're going to try it out, see what happens. And the other thing I'm kind of concerned about, I don't know if it's going to make a difference. I'll show you guys if it in a minute if it interferes with it. But on this one, I've got the brackets on the rear end for the push blade, the snow blade that goes on the front. So it mounts on the rear end with some brackets. And I don't know if they're going to interfere with the mower deck, but we'll see. Okay, I don't know how this is going to work out because against the tire right there, and then this is going to have to clear the front tire somehow. It's just going to be trial and error. I could be doing this totally wrong. Not real sure. Like that. And that won't raise up enough to go over top of the tire. I don't know how heavy this thing is. If we just do it like this. Yeah, we're stuck. Almost. It's you can't see on this side. It's stuck on the back wheel because the deck's crooked. Okay. All right. Now it's got to come forward some. See, I don't know if the let me get you guys over here where you can see. See, the front on the frame there, you have this bracket right here, and down there on the deck, it's got a front lip right there that sets in. So it hangs there. And then you have your lift rod hooks up. So we're pretty close. Let me see, I need to grab some R clips. Give me just a second. Okay, we're gonna try it like this. I went and got the floor jack. Let's see if this makes things easier. As what it is when I was trying to pick up one side, it's just kind of flopping and rolling around. You really need this bar to come up and not the deck itself. Let's make sure we're good on this side. Good there. Up, yeah. Yeah, like that. Now, see if we can get the R clips in it. I got about 3 different size ones here, but I think these actually came off the 12G, so they should work out. We'll get some better ones. Just something to hold it. That might be too, yeah. All it does just keeps that little latch from unlatching. So we'll try this one. See, it goes around there like that. If you look right there at the bottom, there's a little hole. Right there. Just something that, like I said, this is just for temporary. I'll put a better one in there, but see, that just keeps that from unlatching. Now we can let the floor jack off. Now we got to hook the drive shaft up. Well, look at that. We got it on there. The old Gravely has finally got a mowing deck. Now, granted, the deck needs a little bit of work, a little bit of patching, straighten up some sheet metal, but spindles seem to be good. Blades look good shape. I'm ready to try it out. I'll have to ask my son to forgive me. It's his Gravely, but he'll get over it. So we'll set up here. Grass ain't really very high, but we'll try it out and see what happens. Well, guys, tickled to death. That mowing deck seems to work just fine. Like I said, it's a little rough around the edges. We'll straighten it up, patch the holes in it, give the paint job, and I've got a deflector to go on the end of it too for the chute discharge side. I did I dropped the deck down. It seems to cut pretty good, but that was really too low, so I raised it back up another notch because it was trying to scalp the ground off. But I guess I'll save the rest of it for Jake to mow with now. But it was a success. So finally got a mowing deck for his Gravely. So some point in time, this will become a project in itself. We'll see what's wrong with it. At this point, I'm not really worried about it. It would be cool to see. It might not take much to get it going. The only thing I know is of course, it's got a flat on this side. The tire is shot. It's got a hole in the side of it. Other than that, the motor did turn over by hand, but somehow through loading it today, we end up mashing that into the little guard there. I don't think it broke anything. It just kind of got bent into it, so I have to take it loose. But when we was moving it, this wheel right here would not move on the left side, right here, left rear wheel. I don't know if the brake's stuck on it. Don't know if there's something wrong in the rear end. I have no idea. But that'll be a project another time. But this one is the same frame as Jake's. His is a 424. This is a 432. You can see there. This one has a little bigger engine on it. His has a 10 horsepower Kohler, and I think this one has I think it's a 14 horsepower Kohler. So, and these here, well, you can see this one here, the hood on this one. The gas tank is up in the front. His gas tank's in the back, and this one actually has the access door for the battery. It's kind of I like that, because on his, to access the battery, you have to unbolt the hood. I'll show you it here. And his actually, you see right there on the front, see, it's got a front bracket, and that is part of the stuff for hooking up your a front PTO, and then you can run all your walk behind attachments will go on the front of this. But you can see how his hood is. The gas tank's back here and no battery access. You have to take all the bolts out of the hood and take the hood off to get to the battery. Telling you can't beat these old equipment like this. Yeah, see how this one has this big chute on it? I've got another one in there. Should bolt right onto this one. Should be the same bolt pattern. But I'm not going to worry about putting it on yet till we, like I said, I'm going to straighten that one up and patch it up. See, this one has the 50-inch deck. I'm pretty certain that one is a 40-inch deck. But basically the same design on them. They hook up the same way. This one has a little bit bigger handle on it to adjust the deck height.
Well, I think that's going to wrap this one up, guys. So remember, hit the like button, give us a thumbs up, and thanks for watching. See you on the next one.